Working with difficult songs. With MixMeister software, you really can beat mix almost any music and stay in perfect sync. If you don't like the way a transition sounds, often it's just because the default intro and outro points need better placement. All you need to do in this case is change the position of the intro or outro anchors on the timeline. But some songs are easier to work with than others. Dance music with a simple rhythm will usually beat mix perfectly without any adjustments on your part. But you may find that a few songs don't seem to stay in sync, no matter where you place the intro and outro anchors. With other songs that have complex rhythmic structures, you may find that lots of them are problematic. All the songs that are bundled with MixMeister will beat mix perfectly without any fine-tuning. So if you want an easy way to get started, practice your mixing with those first. But once you've added music from your own collection, don't worry. There's a special tool for touching up any songs that are hard to work with. It's called the Song Slicer, and you can find it by pressing this button. Let's look at how MixMeister beat mixes your songs, and then we'll discuss how to use the Song Slicer to make adjustments. When MixMeister first analyzes a song, it tries to find all the beats, and then figure out where each measure starts. Here on the timeline, you can see that there's a grid behind all the tracks, which shows one measure after another after another. When you place a song on the timeline, MixMeister lines the song up so that the grid hits all the right points in the song, at the start of each measure. This process of finding each measure in the song and fitting them onto the grid is very important, because if that doesn't work, then functions like tempo matching and snap to beat won't work properly. Again, with dance music, the software gets everything right most of the time, but some songs can be problematic. Let's play this example, where a beat mix doesn't sound right. The first step in correcting the problem is to figure out which song needs fixing. Let's click on the first song and see how it looks in the Song Slicer window. You can make this window a bit bigger if you want. Here you can see vertical lines called measure markers. These show where the software thinks is the start of each measure. You can confirm if the measure markers are in the right place in a couple of ways. First, you can see the peaks and valleys of the song's waveform display and see if they seem to line up in the right places. That's pretty hard to do, though, so the easiest way is to press this button. This will preview the song with a metronome sound. If the metronome clicks are on the beat, then the song has been analyzed correctly. To be more specific, the metronome plays a pattern that sounds like tick, tock, tock, tock. If the song has been analyzed correctly, the high tick sound will play at the start of each measure, and the lower tock sound will play over the other beats. Let's try this to see how it sounds. In this case, everything sounded fine, so the beat mix problem earlier was not with this song. Now let's click on the next one and check it too. Could you hear how the metronome was out of sync with the song's true beat? That's a song that needs fixing. In this case, the song had the right number of beats, but they weren't timed correctly. So we need to move the entire set of measure markers all at once. You can do that by dragging the green horizontal bar like this. Now we have the measure markers lined up with the peaks on the song slicer display. Let's hear how it sounds. That was an improvement, since all the metronome sounds were playing right on the beat. But did you hear another subtle problem? The start of each measure had a tock sound instead of that first tick. That means that the beats are identified, but the start of each measure is still wrong. Let's fix that by dragging this green bar again until the measure markers are correctly placed. Again, let's listen to the metronome. That sounded perfect, and this song is now fixed. You can save all the adjustments you made as a tweak by clicking this button. That means that your fix is now permanent. Whenever you use this song again, in any playlist, it will beat mix flawlessly. A few songs have other rhythmic problems. The hardest kind is where the software simply counted the wrong number of measures, or where the meter suddenly changes in the middle of a song. In these cases, you can hear a metronome that appears to drift as the song plays, so that sometimes it's in sync, and then it gradually wanders off the beat. These are difficult to fix, but once you get the hang of using the song slicer, you'll find you can touch up almost any song. Let's listen briefly to one of these problems. In this case, the way to fix the song is to manually adjust individual measure markers. You can move the red markers by hand like this. You can manually add more markers using this button. You can even delete all the markers and set them by hand using this button. If you get confused, you can always start from the beginning again by clicking this button. Congratulations! You made it through the hardest tutorial. You can find information on advanced song slicer topics, like how to override the detected tempo, in the help file.